Welcome back to Tarot by the Bay. I'm David. I've done a reading on the Maui wildfires a couple of days ago, and as I recall from that reading, basically looking, this is just an incident with global warming. You had dry conditions, whipping up winds, and it caused a very rapid wildfire. Some details have come out about the warning sirens not going off. I'll read on that. Apparently there's some conspiracy theories or some concerns that maybe these fires were set. I imagine it would go somewhere along the lines of the concern is that wealthy contractors want to come in and build resorts there, and are going to try and grab land. And I know like Linda G and others haven't seen necessarily that the fires were started on purpose, but they absolutely see a land grab going on. I believe Linda and Sterling talked about that last Sunday, and Linda talked about it again on a live that she did recently. So I want to just throw cards on that to see what I can get. We'll start off, was this fire purposely set? Then we'll ask about the sirens not going off. And then third, we'll ask about the land grabs that will be going on and what might happen with that. Entertainment purposes only. Again, this is an awful tragedy. We don't know the number of dead yet, but it's going to be the deadliest wildfire, I think, in U.S. history, as they describe it. And mind you, the way the flames spread, and I do believe I talked about this in the last video, it's exactly what was happening in Linda G's neighborhood in Santa Rosa. The fire was on the hills, and the winds were blowing like 60, 70 miles an hour. And it started from a PG&E line, hitting it, going against a tree, and then the line burst and set the tree ablaze, and then you've got this high wind blowing those embers on a drought-stricken area, and as soon as they hit the grass, they light up, and the wind's blowing, so that gets that fire going really quickly, creating more embers, and so on and so forth. You can't outrun the wildfire. It's not like this gentle fire that's burning along and then you can outrun it. This stuff's moving at 60 miles an hour with burning embers flying everywhere, igniting everything around you. You would have a hard time out driving it. So, again, a real tragedy. And apparently some people save themselves by jumping in the ocean because the fire can't get them there. And then you just have to worry about drowning. Or sharks. Or smoke inhalation still. But, okay, so was this fire purposely set? Entertainment purposes only. You got the Nine of Cups. I remember saying about, if this was a... I don't know if I would say purposely set yet. What I see is that people who are opportunistic are looking at this. Yeah. Okay. This isn't answering me if this fire was set. What this is telling me is in the turmoil of the aftermath, these folks are moving in. So we're already going right into the part of the reading where developers are coming in wanting to take the land from the people in there and develop it because they've got the money and they're going to capitalize on the chaos. Yep, big money. Big money's coming in there. I think they've looked at Lahaina. Okay, so Spirit is not telling me yes or no if the fire was purposely set. In some ways, it doesn't matter at this point. My guess is no. I still think you're going to find out that there was some power line that went down or something along those lines. No, it could have been a campfire or something. I don't think it was arson. And then the winds whip it up and burn everything down. But what we're going to have here is looking at the intergenerational wealth of that land and how it wasn't being utilized. Well, it was being utilized by the local population, but not by these guys. They deserve to have the money. What do these local people have that? So they're going to come in with their big money and try and take it over. Underneath is the Queen of Pentacles. What's the shadow card for the Nine of Cups and the Five of Wands is seeing the value that these people were sitting on, and now there's an opportunity to take that value away from them. Yeah, because of the fire, people are displaced. Their life has been turned upside down, and they need to get to calmer shores, and they need to get away from this chaos. And then these developers coming in and offering them a bunch of money, it's a whole lot easier than working with the insurance companies. The money's right there. You can rebuild. You're just not going to rebuild here. You're going to go somewhere else and rebuild. You know, go to the Big Island. Go to Oahu or something like that. We're going to take over Maui. Yep. Ruthless. Absolutely ruthless. Ruthless business. They've got the money. They've got the desire. They've got the opportunity. And they are going to take it. Again, Linda and Mel, I believe, talked about this on their on the Mondays with Mel show, that that this is the same thing that white people have done to indigenous tribes everywhere, including Hawaii with the sugarcane fields and such. This is just business as normal. These businessmen see an opportunity, and they are going to be ruthless about it because they don't freaking care. They care about making money. The lesson to be learned is the star. I think it's really interesting because I was thinking about this. They want to make it a more beautiful resort type place. By displacing the folks who live there, they are going to rebuild everything up, probably bring in a lot of infrastructure, and make Maui like the gem, the crown jewel of the Hawaiian Islands. Oahu is just so touristy. I think they're going to try and make it kind of like the south part of Kauai, but even more so. They're going to try and make this a giant resort place, and they see the opportunity with that outcome. They see they're pregnant with the possibilities of what they can do with this. If we're lucky, the governments there will work in limit and do a lot of planning with this to try and not overdevelop it or over-commercialize it. One of the benefits that might come out of this is that infrastructure is put in. Roads, better roads, mass transit, stuff where you can have people come and visit and then be able to move them around in a more economical and ecologically friendly manner. I will also say this. With global warming comes sea rise. And these guys are looking at building resorts on the coast of an island when you're going to have ocean level seas rising. Just going to leave it like that. This is one of the things I was thinking of. Kind of when I get a little depressed thinking about global warming and how the coastal areas are going to change, and why can't we have nice things, and why can't my kids and my grandkids, should I ever be blessed with grandkids, ever get to see the same things I got to see, because some of it's going to be underwater at this point. If they want to spend their money building resorts on an area that's going to be underwater, that's their jam, not mine. But yeah, the big company is going to move in here, and they're going to strike, and they're going to take over. It's just we've seen it before. We're going to see it again. Now, again, on the short term, this is going to help the people who are landowners or business owners in there that had their businesses burnt down. Dealing with the insurance companies, and maybe they buy it, so who knows how it's going to work out. But developers are going to come in, and they're going to snap up that land, because they've got the money and the resources to do it. There will be some people, obviously, who will hold out and will fight for their land and fight for their things, but they're just going to get worn down by the system in the process. Will the government of Hawaii, I've already forgotten my questions, set a fire? Will these guys move in? I have another question I was going to ask. I've forgotten it now. It's gone. Will the government of Hawaii work with the developers to come up with something that's mutually agreeable for, basically, will the government step in to prevent wild overdevelopment? I mean, that's really what the government's all they're going to do is, are they going to prevent wild overdevelopment? Yeah. I think the government understands what could happen if groups are left unchecked. They've got that wisdom. And they do control permitting and things along those lines. So the government's not powerless in this. And they have to and the government has to play hardball. They can't be nice in this. The government has to play hardball with with these developers. Because if you bend the rules for them, they will just absolutely steamroll you. So they've got, whoever's in charge over there, they've got to be the King of Swords. They have to say, this works, this doesn't work, and this is the way it's going to be. Tower. This is the wildfire is burning down the city there, and the tragedy that happened so quickly over there, and now it's going to be the Ace of Swords here with the King of Swords and the High Priestess. The government has to come in and they have to lead. The developers will absolutely trample this place to hell and back. So the government's got to know the right things to do, follow their processes, have a backbone of steel, and just not put up with the BS. The sword's in their corner. They have to do what's right for that area, for Lahaina. Oh God, and the Queen of Swords. Lesson to be learned is they have to take care of the people as well as the businesses. You've got but the Queen of Swords could also be, you have to be a little bit tough on the people too. It's just, the way it's going to be. The government has got a real opportunity here to control what happens in the situation. If anything, the ball's in their court. The ball is absolutely in their court. Queen of Swords, King of Swords, Ace of Swords, Lovers. They're going to have to balance it. I think they will find a way. They've got the ability to. They'll find a way to make good with the people there as well as the resorts. Mind you, and I'll be a little bit of a devil's advocate. If the resorts start building new resorts there and roads and infrastructure, mass transit, high speed, rails or something like that, that's a lot of work for the people in the area. That's a lot of jobs that it's going to bring in as they do all that construction. It's also going to provide jobs for people there to work so that they can stay on the island. They're just not going to have the oceanfront view that the massive resorts are going to have. So there is the potential for this to work out. And there's your work. And you hammer things out. Be tough with your decisions. Be resolute. Come to compromise where you need to. Everybody's going to get something. And then everybody gets to work. And the money gets made. And I guess underneath it all is the government has to decide how much is enough and how much is too much. How many resorts do you need? What really needs to be done here? They need to sort of do the forward planning on it. So this could work out really, really well for all parties involved. There are going to be people who will not be satisfied because they don't want change. They want things the way they used to be, and that's not an option at this point. I'm sorry to say it's not an option. Yesterday is gone. That fire wiped it out. And all you've got now is a path forward. And what are you going to do with it? I think I'm done. I don't think I want to read any more on this. So, was it purposely set? I don't know. I tend to think not. I think Spirit's point is it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it was purposely set or not. What's done is done. Now it's just a matter of how are you going to address the issue going forward? What is the government? What do the land developers want to do? And what's the government going to do? Are they just going to cave to them, or are they going to stand up to them and have a vision as to what they want to see happen on Maui? So, good luck. Wishing all the best for the folks in Lahaina and on the island of Maui, as well as Oahu. I hear there's wildfires going on there too, and I do have friends that live on Oahu, so wishing the best for them as well. Thank you again for supporting my channel. I hope you found this reading enlightening. Thank you for the likes and the shares that you do to keep my channel growing and reaching out to new people. And for all the new people who've just recently discovered me, welcome to the channel. Glad you found me. I hope I'm resonating with you, and I hope to catch you on future videos. Thanks a lot, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.